rolling tonight. Our third presenter is John Duisberg. His company is Cooleaf. They misspell your name?
Yeah.
What'd they say?
So I've heard everything with my last name. It's Duisberg. It's a crazy
Duisberg.
German name.
See the guy back there in the back?
That's okay.
See the guy, Larry White, that
Larry,
runs this
I'll,
thing?
I'll talk to Larry afterwards.
We'll get him.
Take care of it.
We'll team up on him.
So hello everyone, my name is John Duisberg. I'm the co-founder of Cooleaf, and happy to be here tonight. So thank you for your time. We are currently raising $500,000 as a convertible equity note, and we have $225,000 of that currently committed. So our team, we have a team of technology, product development experts with startup and professional corporate experience. We have a great group of investors behind us and advisors behind us as well. So Cooleaf, we are an employee engagement platform that gives company leaders an internal communication tool to launch, measure, and promote their people-focused programs all within one place, while we're giving employees the ability to collaborate and connect to improve the culture of the organization overall. So let me give you an example, because that sounds pretty broad. So a real-world example, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta is a top workplace. They invest a lot of money into their people. Particularly, they have a very large wellness program. Before working with Cooleaf, they would send out mass emails to their employees to try to promote participation in fitness classes and challenges and all of these things. They would manually track engagement and participation. Okay, so to give you an idea of how much pain is involved in that, employees would go to a fitness program challenge class, they would sign in a paper sheet. The instructor after the class would fax this to their corporate office, where someone would key it into an Excel spreadsheet, which is shared by other people, multiple people doing this, so they had crashes, data losses. At the end of the month, their team would tally up the results, create a report, send it to their executive team so they could see the progress of their program. With Cooleaf, we've been able to automate those steps. So not only are we helping their team be much more efficient about how they're managing and tracking their program, but their employees now have, through their phones, have the ability to get plugged into different opportunities that they can get engaged into, sign up, and increase participation. So that's one example, but we talk to corporate leaders a lot, and top of mind to them is how they attract and retain their top talent, their people. The feedback we get is that losing an employee can cost 2 to 3 times their annual salary. So this is a very big problem for company leaders. The response that we see is that they're investing more in their people. Forbes estimates that every year, $40 billion is spent on employee engagement and rewards and recognition. So this is a big market. A lot of what you see coming out of that is professional development, wellness programs, volunteering, community service, training, all of these things that are happening inside of the organization. Cooleaf pulls these all together, all these programs in one place, giving the internal company the way to track and measure this, and a very easy place for employees to get plugged in, engaged, and be rewarded and recognized for their participation and contributions. So our vision, we see the workplace changing. So the days of working 30 years and getting a gold watch are gone. You have a younger generation of workers in the workplace now, millennials. I'm sure everyone's heard of that term. So they want something different. They want a sense of meaning. They want a feeling of community. They want growth opportunities. Our vision is to become the new standard for how companies connect their people, connect their teams to achieve their goals of being recognized as a top workplace. Today, we have 20 employer clients, ranging from Children's Healthcare of Atlanta to Rock 10 to YP, Yellow Pages. And, so we are currently on track for achieving $400,000 in annual recurring revenue this year. So in terms of our progress. Our business model, the way that we generate revenue, so we charge employers a per employee per month fee based on the size of the organization. So that starts at $4 and it goes down in terms of overall volume. And so that means that a large enterprise client, they may pay less than $1 per employee per month, depending on their size. How we will deploy the capital, the use of funds, Two primary ways. First is sales and marketing. So our plan is to hire 2 sales reps, 2 customer success managers, and 2 marketing team members. On the development side, continuing to develop our technology, there's 2 opportunities that we want to pursue. One is being able to integrate with channel partners. We've been approached by different vendors wanting to license and white label our technology. We want to be able to support that. And the second is being able to offer a free version of our product with upsell premium sales opportunities. So those are 2 areas on the technology side that we want to pursue. In terms of the type of investors that we're looking for, people who are very passionate about our space, who have experience growing, scaling a B2B company, who understand B2B sales and can help us through introductions. It's very valuable for us. That's our cooleaf story, and I definitely look forward to answering questions, so thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, John. Okay, Scott, why don't you kick it off?
Okay, well, I'm not as familiar with this space as the other 2 that we've talked about.
So we have been introduced to Sari at Coke, who is the Chief People Officer.
Right.
So love to talk to her.
Can you talk about who your competitors are? Who's already out there with a product like this? How are you differentiated?
Sure.
Because I'm not really familiar with the space.
Sure. So the bucket that we get kind of lumped into is enterprise collaboration. So companies like Yammer, Socialcast, Slack, these are collaboration companies. The way that those get adopted and deployed for the most part is more bottoms up, where you have a project team who are using it to replace email and collaborate. So we have those product features, but the other part of our product is it's used by the company team or leaders as a tool to manage their corporate programs, right? So they're investing in a corporate wellness program. They're investing in corporate training and social responsibility and all these things. They want to have a way to track, communicate this out effectively. So that is a big part of our product and how we differentiate. In addition to that, we do have the collaboration feature sets that a Yammer has. It's okay.
And did you say you're working with 20 clients today?
Yes.
So do you have tangible benefits that they've realized?
Sure.
Okay.
Doherty Business Solutions is a current client. So they're a mid-sized firm here in Atlanta. They prior to working with us had a turnover rate of approximately 19%. They've quoted or told us that they have a turnover rate now of approximately 12%. Now they're not saying that 100% of that is correlated to cooleaf, and we wouldn't go out and say, and we're not saying that either, but that's the experience that they've received in terms of a reduction in turnover.
Okay. And that was the one thing that I highlighted for myself out of what you mentioned, because I've always been led to believe that the reason people leave their job is because they don't like their direct boss. It's not because of the enterprise or things like that. Typically, people feel good about the company or they believe in the company, what it's trying to do, but it's their direct boss that's making life difficult every day.
And you're right. And the companies that we approach are companies that are investing in their people and they have programs in place, and we say, hey, great, you get it. Here's a way for you to manage this program much more effectively. Be strategic about your program because you can see results now through the data.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Allison?
As you talked about it, I think I was thinking about the collaboration advantages. I have been involved in international project teams, and we used platforms like Lotus Notes. That was an offline way to maintain collaborative conversations. So I'm not especially familiar with this. One of the questions that comes to mind thinking about a large organization is system administration. And with the size of the staff and the changeovers that occur, when you are using this to manage engagement programs, who does take care of the system administration?
Sure. So we will receive a scheduled census file, an HR file, from the company. So for example, they'll have it every 2 weeks where they will upload a employee census file to update changes, people coming, going, all of those things to keep the system accurate. So that's the first thing. The second is our system has an administrator backend where they can delegate out certain permissions and rights to, from VP to director to team leads, to where it's not just one group or department who's managing this large enterprise. They're delegating it out to their team leads. And that's how we've seen it work very well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I jump back in? Because
Of course.
that led me to another thought. One of the problems with these tools that come out is it's another thing an employee has to do every day. So
Right.
now they got to sign into another system and go through that. And a lot of times things don't work or they're not adopted for that reason. So I think the more you can bundle into this and really provide multiple reasons why people need to be going in every day, that's going to help it succeed.
Yep. So to that point, two things. So you're absolutely right. One, we've implemented single sign-on. So, and you know, for everyone who works corporate environment, to log in the morning, your user ID and password, right, your network, well, we can take that same user ID and password, authenticate it, and then bring you right into our system without having to log in again. So that's something we absolutely have heard and we can support. And then the second part of your question, can you say that one more time?
Well, I was just saying, the more things you can bundle in this, which is what you're trying to do, the easier it's going to be for the system to adopt it, because now you don't have people going out to 10 different things.
Yep.
You can get everything in one, and the more you can drive them to that, the better off you're going to be. I think the better your success is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen clients use our, so at the end of the day, this is how they're tracking. Employees come together for different purposes, whether it's training, whether it's volunteering, whether it's wellness. We've seen some clients where it's not even optional. This is where you go to sign up for these open enrollment sessions. Pick your, pick your day event, right? And it keeps people coming back, but the company adopts it as their operational process to track these things. So where, in my opinion, where Yammer and these guys have failed is it's more like, hey, throw it out there and collaborate, knock yourself out. But when the company adopts it as their tool, it's here, I have a constant reason to be coming back here. In addition to the kind of the social collaboration process. So, but you're absolutely right.
I just want to make one
Yes, ma'am.
additional comment, John, because you just mentioned something that I was thinking about as a potential use, which is monitoring of training.
Yep.
And I will say that an important aspect of that, especially if it has compliance implications, is going to be security of the information. Companies that I've worked would be very conscious about security of even employee census information. But I can see, just from recalling how we used to manage documentation of training, which had to be done very regularly. It was a manual file, basically, that you would keep to show compliance. That could be a very high value use, but you're going to have to be able to show security from a corporate standpoint.
A lot of what you're saying is resonating. I spent this morning at some mandatory training where I walked in and I picked up the pen and I filled in my employee ID and they took the sheet of paper and I don't know what happened to it, but I hope I got credit. So that we've got a lot of employee resource groups where there's plenty of opportunity, I think, for more automation, better tools. We have employee wellness programs. I think, a lot of what you're saying does seem like it's going to hit a need. Can you speak a little bit about, so if you've got this software, I'm assuming it's a platform where if there are 7 employee resource groups and then another division wants to do this, there's some capability where the administrator can set up a site and cherry pick which tools they want, and are there surveys, or there signups?
Right, so how it's structured, how it's organized. So, we have clients in multiple cities, office locations, different department structures and all this. So what we do is on the front end, we work with that client in an onboarding period to essentially create that organizational structure. And that's really important for reporting as well as people getting the right content, people seeing the right information. So the way that we have set up our system, if I'm logging in from my Charlotte office, I'm going to see certain things that I would not see logging in from my Atlanta office because my user is tagged as an Atlanta employee and that's part of my profile. So whether it's me looking at the rewards catalog or the events and the trainings that are coming up, I'm only going to see the data that's relevant to me. And that cuts down on a lot of the spam. So when they're communicating out and wanting to get participation, they're not just blasting, right? They're saying, hey, this training is for these 3 departments only, just sending it to them. Or this volunteer event is just in the Atlanta area, just sending it to them. And that helps a lot. And then the other thing that, this is a little bit of an extension of the question, but where we see a lot of engagement adoption is it's not just through email anymore. Now you can, if you have a United Way campaign, send a push notification directly to that employee's phone. Oh, I get it. Hey, there's this campaign. I see who else is involved. See the details. I'm in. It's that simple. And that meeting people where they are through their mobile device, that to us is not even the future, it's already here. And that's where we really feel like we can thrive in terms of the innovation that we bring to these companies.
So as I learned a little bit more about the idea, I think I can appreciate it a little bit better. You've already got a contact at Coca-Cola, it sounds like, a real good contact, so I'm not really sure I can do anything beyond or to help you further from this point.
Okay, thanks,
Good
John.
luck.
Thanks, John. I am very intrigued by the power of what you've described, and as a potential user, I could imagine really appreciating it. I don't think I have any connections, though, that are going to help you penetrate the corporate environment. But I'm happy to talk afterwards.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Thumbs up. I've got some contacts outside of AT&T, and between Joni and myself, hopefully we can find the right folks in our HR organization.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Profitable night for you. And that brings an end to another season of the Shark Attack, and what a great night. Thank you, Sharks. We appreciate it. And it is fun, isn't it? And boy, ideas and win-win, we love it. Okay, Larry, thank you. A great season. We appreciate it.